your number one source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Scenic Sports Network. Providence Christian football tonight. The Eagles coming in at 3-4. The last time we talked to you was before a 3-game road trip where Providence went 2-1 on that road trip. The last game being a 37-14 win over HA. We'll talk more about that as it goes on. Providence taking on New Brockton. New Brockton won the toss. They deferred, and so they were kicking off, most likely getting the ball to start the second half. And they just did a pooch kick right there, and it went to Harrison Mims at the 32-yard line, and that's where Providence will open up this game at the 32-yard line, first down and 10. Providence coming in, like I said, having beat HA last week 37-14, was up in that game 30-7 at halftime, pretty much putting the game away. So here's Providence in their traditional look on offense with Jake Smith at quarterback, Gus Goldsboro in the backfield. Grant Weatherford goes in motion. The first give is to Weatherford. He makes a good move. Just can't get past the first tackler there, but give him about 6 yards on the carry, and Providence with a good first down run there.
The game coach number 81, Matthew Smith.
And what Providence will try to do, what they have done throughout the games that they've won, they want to establish the run game, chew up a lot of the run game, and chew up a lot of the clock, and really limit the opponent to what they can do. Part of the problem that they've had this year is they just haven't had the push by the offensive line. Second down and 4, and it's going to be a pass. Jake Smith's going to go over into the flat. He's got a man open there. Grant Weatherford, he gets it and is able to shake free. He's got a chance at a big gain here, has a chance for a touchdown at the 30. The 20 makes a move inside, gets caught, dragging tacklers down to about the 2-yard line. That is a big play that Providence needs in the passing game that we haven't seen a whole lot of this year. Jake Smith with a short out pass. Grant Weatherford able to make the move and turn that into about a 54-yard gain or so. We'll put it at 54, and we'll look at that here in a second. But a great play there, and sets up Providence at the 3-yard line just a minute into the game. Third play of the game, Smith, Goldsboro on the backfield. He's going to get it, just an inside handoff. Powers his way in for a touchdown, and just like that, in a minute 13 seconds, Providence takes the lead, 6-0, pending the extra point, and just give them a 3-play drive there. 2 runs and a pass, and Providence is on the scoreboard. Now, if you're a New Brockton fan, this is something that you've seen quite a bit of. New Brockton coming into this game 1-5, their only win over Daleville, and they're giving up 40 points a contest, and looking very similar tonight. Providence going to go for 2, something they've done the last few weeks, and that was pretty easy there. Gus Goldsboro just going the 3 yards in for the 2-point conversion, and Providence jumps right on the scoreboard, going up 8-0, 3-play drive. 67 yards and 3 plays. Of course, the big play there, Jake Smith with just a little curl route to Grant Weatherford, and he was able to shake a tackler right at the first down sticks and go all the way down the sideline, down to the 3-yard line for about a 54-yard gain, and that's exactly how Providence wanted to start this game. As I said, they're coming off a 2-1 road trip, where kind of a quirky schedule this year, where they were home and away, then 3 on the road, and then 3 at home to end the season. And Providence right now scoring 25 points a game, but they're giving up 27 points a game. When they're on the road, they haven't played quite as well, not scoring a whole lot and giving up a good 27 points there. And their one home loss to Slocum, which has proved to be a very good team as well, and no shame in losing to them. And New Brockton comes in at 1-5. They beat Daleville, and Daleville is a team that's really struggling. And New Brockton on scoring just 19 points a game, giving up 40 points a game. And on that first drive, we could see why their defense has struggled a little bit to stop the opponent. John Jeter to kick off for Providence. we'll see what kick it is. Sometimes it's onside, sometimes it's boot, sometimes it's deep. And this is a deep kick. And New Brockton's going to run it back, but they fumble the ball, pick it up at about the 18-yard line, and make another 6 or 7 yards up to about the 20-yard line. And that's where New Brockton will start on offense. And when you look at New Brockton's offense, it's a very, very quarterback-heavy. Caden Cup, number 18 at quarterback. He's got 664 yards this year through the air, 6 touchdowns, but he's also got 390 yards rushing. So obviously he's the leading passer, also the leading rusher. We'll look at Jordan Tacey, number 1. He's at 239 yards this year. Also a very good on defense as well. He's got 22 tackles. And then Jamarcus Brown's got 124 yards and 5 touchdowns. So we'll see what New Brockton comes out in. They're going to come out in the shotgun, and there's nobody in the backfield for Cup. He's getting guys lined up to take the first snap of the night. And we've got a flag already. And it looks like we have a delay of game to start. That's obviously not how New Brockton wants to start. They don't want to give up 8 points to begin the game. And then their first offensive series are going to be behind the chain starting at 1st and 15. It looked like they came out in a set, and not everybody was set where they needed to be. And Cup trying to get them where they needed to be on offense and just couldn't get it there in time with the play clock. So Cup in the backfield, looks like he's going to do an inside handoff here. It's going to be tackled right at the line of scrimmage. We'll see if they give them a yard or so.
And left tackle goes to number 38, Logan McCoy.
And that looks like Logan McCoy there, 5'7", 145-pound ninth grader for New Brockton, gets the first carry of the game, and it looks like that's going to be for no gain.
Brings up second down in a short 15, long 14 for the Gamecocks.
Cup still in the shotgun, looking over, trying to get the play, make sure everybody is set here for New Brockton. Second down and 15. Once again, it's got some motion, and the running back is caught there in the backfield, and that's Julian Noble there trying to get loose. He couldn't get loose. There might be a face mask here. Personal foul, face mask, and that's one of those things where Jonathan Wells got in, had him, but just couldn't quite get the tackle before he got his hand on the face mask. So that's a huge break for New Brockton. They were looking at a 3rd down and probably 20 to 21. Now they're let's see, should be a 1st down. Typically, a personal foul turns into a 1st down, but tonight it doesn't, and it's 2nd down and 5 for New Brockton. And once again, it's the same play they started with, and the freshman running back trying to get out. He got a big hit there by Grant Weatherford, and met him just probably 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And once again, a good defensive play so far by Providence Christian High School. That was Logan McCoy, the 9th grader, 5'7", with the carry. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 8.
Loss of 3 on the play, making the stop for the Eagles, number 2, Grant Weatherford. Brings up 3rd down and 8. Ball now resting at the
Let's see what New Brockton does. Their first handful of plays here have not resulted in much. Oh, and we're going to have movement here, and so really a tough offensive series so far to start the game here for New Brockton. Penalty on their first play. They did get the, they were going to look at 3rd down and about 21. They got the penalty. They got them into 2nd down and 5. Lost 3 yards on the next play. Now they have a 5-yard penalty, puts them behind the chains. Looking at 3rd and 13. Cup in the backfield. We've yet to see him throw a pass. It looks like an obviously passing down here. He's under heavy pressure. He is a good runner. He's got an opportunity to make some of that back, and going to make it down about a 4th down and 3. You can see the moves that he has. It's got him almost 400 yards rushing this year, but that's going to bring them up to 4th and short, and they're lining up as if they possibly might go for it. We'll see what they're going to do. They might try to just draw Providence off sides. It's a very bold move this early in the game to go for it. 4th down and 2 at your opponent's 28-yard line, your own 28-yard line. And they are going for it, going to do an inside handoff to Noble. He does get the first down, give him 4 yards on the carry, give him 5 yards on the carry. A very bold move there, and it worked out in the favor for New Brockton, so you got to give them some credit. Coming in here 1 and 5, not much to lose, so go for it on 4th and 2 at your own 28-yard line. That's not conventional wisdom. That's not on the card that the coach is carrying around for his 4th down analytics, but it does work in this instance.
34-yard line.
Noble is still in the backfield. Cup's going to just a little out pass, and just off the fingertips there of number 45, John Clay Reynolds. He had an opportunity at it, and a little bit high, but probably a ball that coach would hope that he would catch. 7.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Providence scored right out of the gate. 3 plays went right down, got the 2-point conversion to take an 8-0 lead, and now here's New Brockton on their first offensive series, having a couple of penalties, and did get a 4th down play. So here we are at 2nd down and 10, and Cup's going to keep it. He's going to go around the right side and gets knocked out of bounds. Sometimes from our angle it's kind of hard to see where he's knocked out of bounds. Looks like he's about the 37-yard line, so that's going to bring up about a 3rd down and 8, 3rd down and 7. Give him 3 yards on that carry. And on this series, he's got 13 yards rushing, and they overcame a 4th down. Let's see if they can overcome the 3rd down here. Cup in the backfield, Noble in the backfield with him as well. Number 20, good size running back, 6 foot 205 senior. Here we go with the, looks like Cup's just going to hold it, go right up the middle. He's actually going to lose a yard. A very good defense there by Providence, and that's going to put him in a 4th down and 8. If we thought that the 4th down and 2 was a bold move, let's see what this move is here. 4th down and 8. Got a couple of guys coming in here, and New Brockton does a nice job here of kind of disguising what they're going to do. It does look like they're going to punt it. Even the punter's not quite back as far as he normally is, but Providence thinking he's going to do that. We got Grant Weatherford back at about his own 30-yard line, going to take this punt. And it's a real fumbled snap there, but he's able to get it off. Not a great punt. It takes a good roll. Weatherford smartly gets away from it, and a punt that looked like it didn't have much of a chance actually rolls down to the 23-yard line. That's where Providence will take over with their 2nd possession of the game. We're looking at 6 minutes, 17 seconds to go, and the Providence defense had a very good series there. Take away the 15-yard penalty, and they probably would have kept them there with only a 3 and out. So here's Providence on their 2nd offensive series. Christian Durden, their talented sophomore running back, not in uniform tonight, so Gus Goldsboro is going to have to do the bulk of the running tonight. We got an inside handoff to Weatherford. He had that long pass play. Makes another good move. If he can get around the corner, he's got another big play here, and he's going to take the ball from the 23-yard line all the way up to about the 45-yard line. So give him 22 yards on that carry, and Grant Weatherford's got 76 yards of total offense so far in just 2 plays, and that's exactly what Providence wants to do. Get those big chunk plays there, get the lead. You can run the ball and make that clock run.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Ball resting at the Providence 45.
John Jeter in at fullback. Gus Goldsboro, you'd expect to get the ball right here. He does on an inside handoff. There's a big hole right there. He's going to go to the outside, and he's going to go in for the touchdown. It's going to give him a 55-yard touchdown. Nobody's going to catch him. And once again, in 2 plays, Providence goes, let's do some quick math here. It goes 76 yards, 77 yards in 2 plays, and has a 14-0 lead. And coming into the game tonight, Goldsboro had 725 total yards rushing, and so with a big night tonight, he could get 1,000 yards, but with 3 games to go, you would feel like he has a good chance to get 1,000 yards. He's got 12 touchdowns on the season. Give him 2 more tonight. He's got 14 touchdowns. John Jeter in for the extra point. They went for 2 in the first one. Going to go for 1 on this one. Jeter's got a good leg. That's up, and that's good. And Providence, just like that, has got a 15-0 lead. 6.5 minutes into the game. when Providence has been on this season, they have really scored quickly. If you remember a few broadcasts ago against Northside Methodist, when they scored 71 points, they had a number of 2 and 3 and 4 play drives. Tonight they've had the ball for a total of 5 plays, scored on 2 of those plays, had a 54-yard pass and a 22-yard run. So what they've seen offensively that they've wanted to do has worked tonight against New Brockton. And as we said, coming in, New Brockton giving up 40 points a game and just don't have a lot of outside speed. We've seen that on a couple of the plays so far. Julian Noble, number 20, is back for New Brockton, as well as number 26, Carius McNabb. And we'll see if John Jeter's going to kick it deep. He did the first time, but they've been known to do onside kicks, pooch kicks, a number of different things. Looks like it's an onside kick. The ball does go 10 yards. It bangs off somebody's leg. Have to see if it's a New Brockton player's leg. Looks like number 21, Mateus Hoskins, is not happy. So we'll see what the officials. It looks like they're going to give it to Providence, so they go with the surprise onside kick. New Brockton not really ready for it, was in a position to make the play, banged off his shin, and now Providence set up with their third possession, this time at the 48-yard line. The officials are getting together to make sure that everybody saw it correctly. They all seem to be in agreement. Now another guy's coming in. He may not have been in agreement. He didn't seem to be in the first conversation that they had. There's no video review in high school, so the officials have to make the call on the field, and they once again do give it to Providence. So an onside kick hits a New Brockton player before it went 10 yards, and so once it hits the opponent, anywhere on the field when it hits the opponent, it doesn't have to go 10 yards. Providence can't jump on the football. They did. I didn't see who recovered the onside kick, and either way, it sets Providence now up at their own 48-yard line. As we've exhaustively detailed, they've had 5 plays so far and scored on 2 of those plays. The same starting lineup out there. Jake Smith at quarterback. He's had 2 really good games for Providence running the ball. We expect to see him run it here. He's just going to go around the right side, has an opportunity for a big gain, bulls his way down, gets into New Brockton territory at about the 30. We're going to mark him at the 33-yard line, so give him 19 yards on that carry. And Providence just getting their yards in chunks. Last game, Jake Smith had a great outing, 208 yards, 3 touchdowns against Houston Academy, had 197 of those yards in the first half. And when the game, he really put the game out of reach. The third play of the game, he went 60 yards for a touchdown, and Providence never looked back. And here they are once again, marching right down the field. Smith gives the handoff to Goldsboro. He kind of turnstiles his way through and goes up the middle. It looks like he lost the ball. Kind of hard to see if he was down or not. He was going to be right at the sticks, probably about a 9-yard gain.
Recovered by the Eagles.
So it looks like Providence did recover the football, and there is a penalty. I can't tell where the official is. There he is. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be against Providence, most likely a hold.
On the stop of the Gamecocks, number 7, Jamarcus
Yes, it is
Brown.
holding against
Go
Providence.
Eagle offense, holding.
See where they marked the ball. So it looks like they got the holding at the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be first down and 20. But so far, Providence has gotten big chunks in yards, so we'll see what they can come up with here. Taking over their third possession after an onside kick, and the first play was a 19-yard run by quarterback Jake Smith. We'll see what they have in store here at first down and 20. Goldsboro is going to get just a little pitch out, trying to get around the corner, switches the ball, takes on the tackler, and takes on a couple of tacklers, and give him probably 7 yards on that carry. Let's give him 8 yards on that carry. And now that makes it a little bit more manageable. A second down and 12. It looks like they gave him 7 yards on that. Maybe at halftime I'll get with the official score. We can scrutinize that run there. So now it's second down and 12. Goldsboro again already with a big night. with 71 yards rushing on 4 carries. And Smith going to go back up top once again. He's got a man open, throws it. Weatherford over the shoulder catch, the best pass and catch of the season so far for Providence. That's another touchdown. Give them 35, 36 yards on that pass play. And it's another touchdown. Give Weatherford a touchdown there. And Providence now up 21-0. And one of the things that Providence thought this year coming into the season that they might be able to pass just a little bit more. Jake Smith is a very good passer. He's got a strong arm. You saw there, he threw that ball about 45 yards in the air, just over the shoulder to Weatherford for the touchdown. 3:50 to go in the first quarter, and Providence looking to put point number 22 up on the board. Almost blocked, but it does get it up and over the trees. Providence now up 22-0. Jake Smith's got 80 yards passing. Grant Weatherford's got 80 yards receiving, 54-yard catch and a 36-yard catch. The last one being for a touchdown, and Providence cruising right now 22-0. As we detailed coming into the game, New Brockton 1-5, having a really tough time defensively. And what we're seeing from Providence right now, if they can get to the corner, New Brockton lacking some corner speed. They're getting a lot of their plays off the corner, and you can see on that long pass play there, Weatherford had 3 steps on his defender, so New Brockton really struggling on the outside. For Providence, this is exactly what they needed, coming in at 3-4. If they win tonight, they're firmly in control of a possible playoff berth. And something a couple of weeks ago, wasn't sure after losing to Opp on the road, wasn't sure if this was a team that could make the playoffs, but the week before they were able to come from behind and beat Elba, who was an excellent 2A team, ranked 10th at the time, and then able to come back to Dothan, even though it was on the road, and beat Houston Academy. And tonight jumping all over New Brockton here in the first quarter, up 22-0. Jeter takes this one long, and New Brockton's just going to let it bounce, go into the end zone. And so with 3:54 to go in the first quarter, with their second possession, New Brockton will come out trailing 22-0, really needing to get something started here. 22-0 is not detrimental since there's 3 quarters and 3:54 to go in the game. But if New Brockton goes 3 and out or is not able to mount much here, this is a game that could really get out of control. So New Brockton getting the play in on the sideline and then running in as a unit. As we talked about, Caden Cupp is the quarterback, very accomplished, over 600 yards passing, 390 yards rushing, and he's got Julian Noble in the backfield, a bigger running back for them. And here we go in motion, and Cupp's just going to keep it, try to get to the outside, and a great tackle coming up there. Looks like Abe Chancellor coming up and really diagnosing that play and able to throw Cupp, it looks like, for about a 4-yard loss there. And so give Providence a number of tackle for losses already in this game. I've got them unofficially at 5 tackles for loss. And so New Brockton has their work cut out for them, down 22-0, and here they are, second down and 13. Cupp drops the ball, back to pass. He's under pressure, just going to throw it out of bounds. And Cupp is tackled there by Harrison Mims, but he was able to get it out, and that's going to bring up third down and 13, and definitely a difficult situation here for New Brockton. We haven't seen Jordan Tacey in the background. He's got 239 yards rushing, or Jamarcus Brown's got 124. It's been Caden Cupp and Julian Noble so far in the backfield, sprinkled in with a run with number 38. Had a couple of runs, Logan McCoy. So here we go, third down and 13. McCoy's going to go in motion. It's just going to be a soft roll. Looks like Cupp's going to keep it, and he is tackled for a loss once again. Jonathan Wells able to get in there, and that's another 3-yard loss, 4-yard loss. We'll give him a sack on that one as well. And so New Brockton's going to have to punt. the clock is moving, and this is a possession that they had the ball barely 40 seconds, not giving the defense much time to really think about what's going on and what they can do differently, and going to punt the ball. And Providence should get good field position probably on their own side. Kind of a different kind of punt there. It went right up to Grant Weatherford. He's got a big hole, shoots inside, gets it down to about the 32. You felt like if he deeped inside and went outside, he might have had a good chance at a bigger run there. And you may not have been able to notice that the punter for New Brockton held the ball on both ends and kicked it. He doesn't kick it traditionally where you try to get a spiral. He kicked it to where it would just kind of roll over, and it did roll over but bounced right to Weatherford. He was able to get about an 18-yard gain down to the 32-yard line. So here's Providence with their 4th possession in the first quarter, scoring on the first 3, and there's still 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Goldsboro goes in motion. Smith's going to keep it, goes right up the middle, gets loose, has a chance at a touchdown here. He's going to waltz right in for a 32-yard touchdown.
Number 12, Jake Smith bounces it to the outside.
And the big play of Providence continues on, and really continues on for Jake Smith. That's his 2nd week in a row. He's had a big play. He's had 2 big passes and give him a 32-yard touchdown run there. And Providence looking to put 29 points on the board in the first quarter. When they played Northside Methodist, they scored 71 points, which was a school record and one of the top performances in state history, really. And they're on their way now, scoring 29 points here in the first quarter. Jeter on for the extra point. And again, almost blocked, but he does get it up, and it's 29 points, and we'll have to go find somebody here that may be a historian to be able to figure out how many points Providence has scored in the first quarter before. This has to rank right up there. So 29-0 Providence, 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns, and having to do math on the fly while I'm doing this is not the easiest thing to do, but I want to say that they may have run 10 plays, possibly. Let's see if we can count it up here. Yeah, so we're getting word here in the press box that it's about 10 plays have resulted in 4 touchdowns, and once we get a break in the action at the quarter, we'll try to tally up how many yards that Providence has so far in the first quarter. As good as their offense has been, their defense has been just as good. At home, their defense has been better. On the road, the defense, while not really getting blown out in the point of giving up 40, 50 points while they're on the road, they have struggled some on the road tonight, getting a lot of tackles for losses, getting a sack on the last possession. And so the defense really setting up the offense nicely tonight. So here's Jeter.
Jeter tees it up at his own 40-yard line.
We'll see what his kick is going to be. It's just going to be down the middle, and Noble's going to take it at about the 5, going to return it. He's going to try to go left, see what he can do, and he gets right about at the 20-yard line, about the same as if he would have let it go. And he takes the punishment there up to the 20. So with 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter, if I had negotiated my contract better and got paid by the word, I'd be making a lot of money here in the first quarter. 29-0 with 2.5 minutes to go. New Brockton coming out for their 3rd possession. Their first 2 have not resulted in many yards, and they actually have negative yards right now. And if any team has been in need of a sustained drive, New Brockton is right now, down 29-0 with still 2.5 minutes to go. Their last possession was only 40 seconds. So Cup in the backfield. Got a new running back in the backfield with him. He's going to get the call, and it's the line collapses in on him right there. And that was Jamarcus Brown getting no gain on that play, and the defensive line for Providence just collapsing the offensive line and dropping him for a 1-yard loss.
For the Eagles, number 30.
So the tackles for loss continue.
Number 38, Ford Register.
Give Trey Douglas and Ford Register the tackles on that one. So it's 2nd down and 11, something that New Brockton has been in familiar territory behind the chains all night. And this time the snap goes past Cup. He's going to try to just fall on it. Wisely falls on it, but that's all the way back to the 1-yard line. So that's a loss of 18 yards. And I think this might be a situation where New Brockton kind of hopes the first quarter can go out. They can kind of regather themselves here at the quarter break, because now you're looking at 3rd down, and this is going to be hard for me to figure out. 5, 10, 15, 18. You're looking at 3rd down and 28 from the 2-yard line. There's not many 3rd down and 28 plays here. Wisely just hands the ball off to Brown. He just goes right up the middle, doesn't get anywhere. Ford Register there to stop him, knock him down, and New Brockton's going to punt from their own end zone. And that possession was only about a minute. So Providence going to get the ball back for I'll have to figure this out here, for the 5th possession in the first quarter.
Number 30, Douglas. Number 38,
so Weatherford standing at his 42-yard line. We'll see how this punt goes right here. It's partially blocked, I believe. And so now Providence going to have a chance. They're just going to get away from it. Now Providence going to get the ball at the 21-yard line with 43 seconds to go. And just a really tough night for New Brockton there as that punt that looked like it was either blocked or it hit somebody as it was going out, and only went just about 18 yards.
First down and 10 yards to go from there.
So here's Providence with their 5th possession of the first quarter. The starting lineup still in there. Jake Smith at quarterback, Gus Goldsboro at running back. Both have had big plays so far tonight. And Goldsboro's going to go in motion, just take a little swing pass. He's going to get to the corner, and once again, that's an easy walk in for a touchdown. 21 yards on the pass play. By far the best passing that they've had this season, and walks right in for the touchdown. 35-0. And I hate to say it, but there's still 34 seconds to go in the first quarter, and Providence with a 1-play drive. So again, they've run 11 plays. They've scored 5 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. So John Jeter getting a season's worth of kicks in the first quarter here. We'll try to tack on point number 36 for Providence.
Number 2, Weatherford the holder. Number 16, Jeter the kicker.
Jeter's up, and that is good, and Providence leads 36-0 with 34 seconds to go. And we'll have to start to ask around here on what is some of the all-time quarter numbers, at least here, up 36-0. And New Brockton might be wise to take the next step and just run the ball and try to get through the end of the quarter and kind of see if they can regroup here. But 6 possessions for Providence, 6 touchdowns. That has to be a record, and we'll see if we can figure that out. When you take a look at the side for New Brockton and you look at them offensively, unofficially I have them with 8 negative plays, a couple of penalties, and a mishandled snap. And so it's really been a tough first quarter. They've had a tough season to this point, but this is by far the toughest quarter that they've had this season.
Set to kick it off from his own 40-yard line.
So Jeter's going to kick off once again for Providence, and you have Noble back as well, and he's returned a couple. They've onside kicked. He's kicked a couple into the end zone. And again, this is just the first quarter, folks. So Jeter just kind of pops it up. Noble's going to take it at about his 10-yard line, goes to the middle of the field, and he tries to backtrack, and that doesn't work very well. Looks like he may have lost the ball. Can't really tell if he was down or not.
Kickoff is taken at the 10-yard line and returned to about the 17.
So it looks like he went to the 17. New Brockton did, thankfully for them, was able to get on that one. So Noble tried to backtrack and get a few more yards and ended up losing yards. So with 25 seconds to go, New Brockton got to get something going here, down 36-0. New Brockton scoring 19 points a game, but giving up 40 points, and really one of the toughest quarters they've had this season. So Cup
First and 10.
Brown in the backfield, and Cup's just going to keep it. He's going to try to bounce to the outside, and the line once again collapses on him, and he loses 3 on that
Number
run.
18 Cup with a carry at left tackle.
And so the clock's winding down, less than 10 seconds. I think this will be the last play of the first quarter. And New Brockton will have a chance to kind of get together and figure out something that not only can get positive yards, but can get them a first down. And one that could be for the history books, folks. It's 36-0 Providence after 1 quarter. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
Smith Supply is dedicated to offering a vast collection of fixtures, faucets, and accessories for your kitchen and bath. Make your dreams a reality. Step into the area's only Kohler Premier Showroom or see Delta's Brizo collection for the latest trends in kitchen and bathroom designs. Lewis Smith Supply offers an extensive line of plumbing supplies for contractors or do-it-yourselfers. For more inspiration, come visit one of our showrooms in Dothan or Enterprise.
At Enterprise State, we believe college is for everyone who wants a path to something better. And we're Alabama's fastest growing community college because we're redefining what college can be. More affordable, more accessible, more of the programs you need to find a high-paying job or fast forward the career you've already started. Whether you come for advanced technical training or a solid academic foundation, you'll leave with the tools it takes to make your future happen faster. Learn more and get moving today.
Your #1 source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
We at Scenic Cable would like to thank our YouTube audience for over 10,000 views on our video library, and we want you to help us make it even better and promote more content being added. How? By subscribing to our YouTube channel. On the Scenic Cable and Productions YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. Your subscription will allow us to grow the channel with even more content, like the local videos you love, and even expand beyond them with new and original videos and shows for YouTube. Please subscribe.
One on the hill, located on the west side of the home.
Back here at Providence Christian High School, everybody's had a chance to regroup after that first quarter. 36-0 Providence. New Brockton, second down and 12. Caden Cup at quarterback. So far he's got negative 19 yards rushing. He's going to go up top again. Doesn't find anybody. He's going to try to get to the corner. Gets a positive play there. Give him maybe 5 yards on that. It's going to bring up a third down, and looks like 8.5 yards to go. Fairly typical of what New Brockton's been up against here in the first quarter. Ford register on that that opportunity there for Providence to push Cup out of bounds.
Gain of about 4 on the play brings up third down and 8. Ball resting just inside.
So it's third down and 8. Cup hasn't had much of an opportunity to throw the ball. It's a low snap. Tried to do a timing pattern. Goes over. Did have a guy open. We have an official 30 yards from the play is going to call pass interference on Providence. Not even close to pass interference. And once again, New Brockton gets a penalty that will help to extend a drive here in the first quarter. It was a face mask. On this one, it looks like it's going to be a pass interference. We don't have replay here, folks. If we did, I don't think you'd want to see it if you're a Providence fan. But New Brockton gets their first down of the game, and also giving the Providence defense a little bit of an opportunity to get out there and make some plays.
Pass interference will be the call on the Eagle defense. Brings the ball up to the New Brockton 35-yard line, where it'll be first down and 10 yards to go for the Gamecocks.
So we got motion from McCoy. He's going to get the ball again. His third carry, going to try to get around the corner, and he may have gotten a yard. Providence was there to knock him out of bounds, and that's one of the furthest points away from us, so it's kind of hard to tell what they're going to give him. They give him about 1.5 yards on that play. So that brings him up to negative 1 yard rushing, and starting to get some positive plays for New Brockton, which is good because they really had dug themselves a hole here in the first quarter,
brings up second down and 8 for the Gamecocks,
to say the least.
Now at the New Brockton 36-yard line.
Cup going to go on a pass again, going to try to do a timing pattern over the middle. Gets McCoy. He looks like he probably got about 8 yards on that one. They're going to give him it's going to bring down a 3rd down and 1. Let's give him 7 yards on that one.
He's going to be close to a Gamecock first down, about a yard short.
So it's going to bring down a 3rd down and 1. I'm certain that if they don't get this, that they'll probably go for it here on 4th down.
1 yard to go now for the Gamecocks. Ball up to the New Brockton 44-yard line.
Cup in the backfield. He's got Jamarcus Brown in the backfield with him. McCoy once again in motion. The handoff's going to go straight up, and it doesn't look like Brown got it. It's going to be very, very close. I don't think he got it. I think he has to go actually to the 45. Looks like it's just inside the 44 there, so it's going to bring it down a 4th down and 1.
Going to bring up 4th and short.
So we'll give him no gain. I think officially that's going to be a no gain there. So it's going to be a 4th down and 1, and at this point down 36-0 with 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. No reason for New Brockton not to go for it.
And number 77,
so Cup's in the backfield by himself. You would think that he's going to take it. And he does. He's going to follow his lead blocker. Does have a little bit of a hole there. Was able to get through. Looks like they're going to give him just about 4 yards on that play.
Goes up the middle and picks up a Gamecock first down. They'll have it.
So New Brockton with their first down of the game, not via the penalty.
8.5.
And starting to put a few plays together here and get that offense rolling, and more importantly, keeps the clock running and keeps their defense off the field. So it's first down and 10. New Brockton at their own 49-yard line. Cup with Jamarcus Brown in the backfield. McCoy in motion once again. It looks like Cup's going to try to roll out. It looks like he was going to try to throw the ball. He's under a lot of pressure and still just looks like he throws the ball away. There was a lineman 10 yards down the field, but we won't point anything out like that. And just throws the ball out of bounds, stops the clock with 9 minutes to go in the second quarter, and that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10. And Cup, as we said, coming in has 664 yards passing, so they've had some success, just a little over 100 yards a game passing, but tonight has really had not much of an opportunity. One, he hasn't had much time, but two, hasn't had anybody open.
49-yard line.
The give inside to Brown, and it looks like he's going to lose a yard. And Brown has just not been able to find any kind of running room tonight. And coming into the game, he had 124 yards rushing. He did have 5 touchdowns. He's got good size, and so you can see down by the goal line he would be very effective. But tonight has not really been able to get much going. And so it's now 3rd down and 10, maybe even 3rd down and 11.
Just outside the New Brockton 48.
Cup takes the snap. He's going to try a timing, but the defense just right in on top of him, going to sack him for about a 2-yard loss. That's going to bring up a 4th down and 13. I couldn't imagine that they're not going to go for this one as well at this point, down 36-0. And Jonathan Wells in on that play, Jackson Dykes as well. And another tackle for loss for Providence, and now you're looking at 4th down and 13.
And on the stop of the Eagle, number 54, Wells, number 65, Harrod, 77, Dykes.
So New Brockton just content to kind of look over, and they're going to take a timeout here and talk over 4th down and 13 with 7:53 to go in the second quarter. Providence leading 36-0. We'll take the timeout with them. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
Stand by. Anytime.
Welcome back to Providence Christian High School. 7:53 to go in the second quarter. 36-0 Providence with the lead. 4th down and 13 for New Brockton, by far their best drive. And Cup's going to roll out. He's got a guy kind of throws it. It's just a little high, trying to get Julian Noble. And he had him, but he's rolling out and throwing back across his body. It was not able to get Noble on that pass play. And Providence going to take over at the New Brockton 47-yard line. As we've pointed out so far tonight, they've had 6 possessions, 6 touchdowns, and right now we believe unofficially they've only run 11 plays to get those 6 touchdowns, maybe 12 plays to get the 6 touchdowns, averaging 24 yards per play right now. And we think that the first quarter scoring 36 points is has to be historic in nature, And we'll see what they can do here to start in the second quarter. 7:45 to go in the second quarter. The starting lineup in there, Gus Goldsboro still in at running back. And Jake Smith just going to keep it himself, kind of jukes inside, goes outside, has a chance to get around the corner, really just kind of picking his way through and able to get down to about the 28-yard line and really turn that into a nice gain. Give him just about 20 yards on that. We'll give him 19 yards. We'll take one away from him there, give him 19 yards. And he had a good game against HA, as we've talked about, over 200 yards rushing in that game, and tonight has followed that up. A big night passing, by far the best night of his career passing, and also picking it right back up, running the ball. And really, Providence is a better football team when the quarterback position can run the ball effectively. Smith looks like he's going to pass it, just going to go over the middle, throws it, and he's got, looks like Weatherford there. Oh, that's Abe Chancellor. He gets him for a 29-yard touchdown, and just like that, as we've talked about, that one was a two-play drive, and so Providence now has run, we think, 13 or 14 plays in this game and has scored 7 times and is up 42-0, trying to tack on an extra point here to make it 43-0. Smith with 140 yards passing tonight, by far the best passing performance of his career. This is the first year that he started at quarterback. In the past, I don't even know if he even attempted a pass play in mop-up duty. So there's Jeter with the extra point, able to get that up and good, 43-0. Providence taking over with 7:43 to go in the first quarter. Our second quarter is 7:03 now to go in the second quarter. 2 plays, 40 seconds, add on another touchdown, 43-0 Providence. Every play that they're working, every play that they put in the system is working for them. And if you think about football, a lot of times coaches like to script plays. Sometimes they'll script 10 plays. They might script 15 plays. However many plays that Coach Goodson scripted tonight, every one of them has worked. And so Providence well over 200 yards in the first half, and considering that they've only run a handful of plays, it really is amazing that they have this performance. Earlier this year at home against Northside Methodist, they scored 71 points, but definitely not at the clip that we're seeing right now. You're thinking that they at least will have one more, if not 2 more possessions in this quarter. Not sure if they've ever scored 40 points in a half before. Certainly not scored 50 points in a half. And so you're going to kind of get into some historic numbers here before the night's over. And it'll be kind of one of those strange seasons for Providence. They come into this game 3-4, had a historic home win over Northside Methodist, scoring 71 points, and also scoring 10 touchdowns in that, and just a number of records were set in that one. Now we're looking at 43-0 with 7 minutes to go. Jeter kicking off. He's had more kickoffs tonight than he's had in the last 3 weeks combined, it seems like.
Set to kick it off from his own 40-yard line for the Eagles, number 16, John Jeter. Back deep to receive for the Gamecocks, number 20, Julian Noble.
So pooches the kick to Noble. He's going to take it at about the 12-yard line. Tries to get to the outside, gets stood up at the 25-yard line, where Providence is able to knock him down right there. That was Gabe Pemberton who was able to stand him up at the 25. So New Brockton, with their third possession of the second quarter, down 43-0. That's where they'll start. We've had a little bit of a lull in the action here as I had to get some water, considering how much that I've talked so much. I'm sorry, folks, that I've talked as much as I have here. So Cup still in the backfield with Jalen Brown starting at the 25-yard line, not able to get the passing game at all. Here's McCoy, the 9th grader, trying to get around the corner and just had a hard time tonight trying to get around the corner. He's taken that pitch and just can't get there before Providence is able to. I think they're going to give him no gain on that one, and a host of players out there as well. Harrison Mims credited with the tackle, And Michael Bridges able to get the tackle there, just able to knock him out of bounds. And Providence has done a great job of being able to string those plays out and not able to get New Brockton to where they can get around the corner. This is Jamarcus Brown. There's a big hole up the middle, and he is able to get just about 6 yards, one of the better runs of the night. And that's going to bring up a third down and make it 3rd down and 4. And it's the smallest third down that New Brockton's had to try to get tonight. But they are starting to get some positive plays as 10-plus tackles for loss so far for Providence in this first quarter, or first half. They're going to give it to Brown once again, and he gets maybe give him 2. He's going to be right there close to the sticks.
Hand off at right guard once again.
Let's see what they call here, and generously spotting him to where they get their first down. So New Brockton able to get their second first down of the first half, and more importantly, keep the clock rolling and keep their defense off the field and keep the ball away from Providence. Providence scoring 7 touchdowns on 14 plays. We haven't seen much from Cup in the passing game, trying to get that up and going. There's McCoy once again trying to string it out, almost gets tackled in the backfield and does get tripped up, and once again, that's a play that I think when coach sees the film is going to realize against Providence is just not going to work.
Carry around right in goes to number 38, McCoy. Short gain on the play.
So that's a no gain. So McCoy so far tonight has run that play 6 times for 4 yards.
2nd and 10 for the Gamecocks. Ball resting at their own 35-yard line.
Here he goes in motion again. It's going to be a give to Brown. That's worked. That's actually Julian Noble. He's able to get some positive yardage. Give him about 5 yards on that. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5. And so Noble getting back to just about 1 yard rushing for the night. New Brockton starting to put a few positive plays together, and when you're down 43-0, the chances of you coming back and winning are slim, but a team that's had trouble scoring this year, it's most important to try to find some things that work, find some plays that work, find some players that can make some plays, and start to just put some positive plays back to back and see if they can start to put something together for the rest of the season. Cup going to try a timing pattern on the outside, and that was a ball that I think if had an opportunity would want to get that ball back there. Charlie Ledger, that's not Charlie Ledger, that's the wrong.
To number 19, Avery Weed, goes incomplete.
And so Avery Weed had an opportunity to get that one, and that went right through his hands. It's going to be 4th down and 5. I'm certain that they're going to go for it. And Cup has had some passes get to his playmakers. They just haven't been able to make a play on it. So 4th down and 5. 3:50 to go in the second quarter. Providence leading 43-0. Julian Noble in the backfield with Cup. And it looks like we're going to have a timeout by New Brockton. They're going to talk over this 4th down and 5. This is the 5th 4th down that they've faced so far in the first half. We're going to take the break with them here. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network. 43-0, Providence on top. Okay, here's the guy from the Eagle. Right here. Yeah. I forget, what was your first name? Wise? Jeremy Wise? That's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, he goes to church with Tyler. So that's a problem. Okay, back here at Providence Christian High School. 4th down and 5 for New Brockton. Cup's in the backfield by himself. He's got 5 wideouts. Going to try to find somebody he can for a 5-yard gain. Going to roll out. Nobody's open, going to try to make it himself if he can. He takes a big hit. That was out of bounds, right at the out of bounds marker, but clearly out of bounds. I think he had the first down by about a yard. They're going to tack on 15 more yards on that as well.
Close to a first down. Penalty marker on the play.
We'll give him 2 yards on that gain and then 15 yards on the play that was just slightly out of bounds, but it was out of bounds. And so for the 3rd time in the first half, New Brockton able to take advantage of a 15-yard penalty, has yet to be able to score off of it. And but this by far their best drive of the first half.
Eagle 40-yard line.
The ball's at the 40-yard line of Providence. This is the furthest that New Brockton has been able to get down into Providence territory here in the first half. Cup with Julian Noble in the backfield. He's going to give to Noble. He's going to go right up the middle. There's a decent hole. This is by far the best play of the night for New Brockton. Noble broke it and got it down to about the 15-yard line or so. So give him 25 yards on that carry. By far the best play of the night for New Brockton. Their best play, most positive play, and it gets New Brockton into red zone territory here with 3.5 minutes to go, and seeing if they can get on the scoreboard. Noble stays in the backfield after that 25-yard run. McCoy in motion. He's going to take the pitch once again. And once again, well, he was hit in the backfield. I think they maybe give him 1 yard on the play there. Had a chance to be tackled for a loss by Jackson Dykes.
Number 38, Logan McCoy.
And McCoy at halftime may tell the coach, we're not sure we want to run that play anymore, because they give him no gain on that. So the last 3 times that he's had the ball has been no gain. And you're looking at 5'7", 145-pound ninth grade, and giving his best out there.
Number 53 Wilkes and number 62 Smith.
So Cup going to pass it. It's going to look over the middle, and there's McCoy over the middle. He gets the ball. Looks like it gets it down to about the 13-yard line. So maybe it's this 7-yard line. So it's going to bring down a 3rd down and 3.
9-yard line brings up 3rd down and about 3 yards to go. And on the stop of the Eagles, number 6, Zach
Clock
Gamble.
running with 2.5 minutes to
Number
go.
17, Gabe Pemberton.
Noble stays in the backfield with Cup.
3rd and 3 for the
He's got
Gamecocks.
4 wideouts, 3rd down and 3. Going to give it to Noble up the middle. He is met right in the hole by Harrison Mims. It's going to be no gain. Going to bring up 4th down, the 6th time now that
number 20, Noble
New Brockton's had to go for it on 4th down here. Not sure if they practice 4th down plays this week, but they've certainly had to bring them out. Under 2 minutes now, minute 50 to go, 43-0 Providence, 4th down and 3. New Brockton knocking on the door to try to get their first score of the game. And Cup's going to pass it, going to go right over the middle. The ball was low, but it looks like McCoy caught it. It's kind of hard to tell from our angle. He did catch it down to the 3-yard line, so give him 6 yards on that catch.
38. Logan McCoy with the reception. He gives the Gamecocks a 1st down. It'll be
so that McCoy's been very, very prominent in the offense tonight, getting a handful of touches here, getting 7 touches here in the first quarter, the first half. Cup's going to keep it, going to go right up the middle. He's met right at the goal line. Looks like he goes over. He does go in for the touchdown, and New Brockton gets the first score of the night for them with 1:13 to go in the second quarter. It's now 43-6 with New Brockton awaiting the extra point. Looks like they're going to go for 2 here. Nobody else has come back on the field. So by far the best drive of the night for New Brockton. Had basically had negative yardage most of the first half. Was able to put a good drive there. Of course, extended by the 15-yard personal foul penalty with the late hit out of bounds and the big 25-yard run by Julian Noble. So going for 2 here. Jamarcus Brown in the backfield. McCoy once again in the backfield. Cup's going to try to roll it, going to try to get in. He's able to just kind of wrench his body in, gets the 2-point conversion, and New Brockton able to put 2 more points on the board. So with 1:13 to go in the second quarter, it is 43-8 for New Brockton. The good news is they scored, got the 2-point conversion. The bad news is there's still 113 left to go in the second quarter, and Providence has scored 3 touchdowns on their last 3 plays. So we'll see how New Brockton wants to handle this kickoff. Probably wouldn't even be a bad idea to try an onside kick here just to see what they could do. Providence playing good defense tonight, the best defense that we've seen from them throughout the year. When they opened up the year against Rehoboth, they had good defense, only giving up 18 points to a 5A team. Once they kind of got in control of the Northside Methodist game, they were able to play very good defense there as well. But tonight, 43-8. The offense has really been the story, and anytime you score 43 points, that's going to be the most of the headlines, but really the defense setting them up well with over 10 tackles for loss before that last drive. So 12 just pooches the ball up, and Gus Goldsboro runs up, gets the ball, going to go around and work his way up to about the 42-yard line. Typically you see the up man take that, but Goldsboro, seeing it the whole way, almost like a center fielder, went out there, got the ball, and was able to run that back up to about the 42-yard line. So with 1:06 to go, Providence setting up here at the 42-yard line, and they're not going to take the foot off the accelerator. You know that they're going to run the plays that have worked so far tonight and see if they can get 50 points in the first half. The starting offense still on the field. Jake Smith with Gus Goldsboro in the backfield, John Jeter and Grant Weatherford. And it's going to be kind of a double reverse there to Grant Weatherford. He drags a tackler, is able to drag up, gets the first down, and gets it down to the New Brockton 48-yard line. So give him 12 yards on that play. He's had a big first half, a 54-yard pass play that got it down to the 3-yard line, a 36-yard touchdown that he caught a beautiful catch over the shoulder, and also has a 22-yard run. Give him 12 yards on that run as well, coming up on 100 total yards in the night. Clock is moving with 37 seconds to go. It's just going to be a pitch out to Goldsboro. He goes around the corner. Looks like he's going to be knocked out of bounds. No, they're going to tackle him inbounds. And at the 42-yard line, give him 6 yards on that play. And with the clock running with less than 20 seconds to go, Providence probably won't snap it again. Going to go into the locker room up 43-8. We'll have to see if we can find out any historical perspective on this first half. But the offense was rolling, the defense was rolling, and at halftime, Providence with a 43-8 lead over New Brockton. You've seen what may be one of the best halves in Providence Christian High School history, and there's a whole second half to go, and we'll be here to call it for you in just a few minutes. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
Smith Supply is dedicated to offering a vast collection of fixtures, faucets, and accessories for your kitchen and bath. Make your dreams a reality. Step into the area's only Kohler Premier showroom or see Delta's Brizo collection for the latest trends in kitchen and bathroom designs. Lewis Smith Supply offers an extensive line of plumbing supplies for contractors or do-it-yourselfers. For more inspiration, come visit one of our showrooms in Dothan or Enterprise.
At Enterprise State, we believe college is for everyone who wants a path to something better. And we're Alabama's fastest growing community college because we're redefining what college can be. More affordable, more accessible, more of the programs you need to find a high-paying job or fast forward the career you've already started. Whether you come for advanced technical training or a solid academic foundation, you'll leave with the tools it takes to make your future happen faster. Learn more and get moving today.
Your number one source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
We at Scenic Cable would like to thank our YouTube audience for over 10,000 views on our video library, and we want you to help us make it even better and promote more content being added. How? By subscribing to our YouTube channel. On the Scenic Cable and Productions YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. Your subscription will allow us to grow the channel with even more content, like the local videos you love, and even expand beyond them with new and original videos and shows for YouTube. Please subscribe.
36. Okay. All right, thanks. Welcome back to Providence Christian High School, where the Eagles have a 43-8 lead on New Brockton, scoring 36 points in the first quarter, which we believe was probably a Providence school record, scoring 36. The 43 is not a school record in the first half. It's still obviously an excellent first half. And New Brockton had won the toss, elected to defer, so they will receive the second half kickoff, trailing 43-8. John Jeter with the kick, and Julian Noble takes it at about the 14-yard line, and he's going to get it up. A pretty good return, gets that up to about the 25, 26-yard line. That's where New Brockton will start with their first possession of the second half. New Brockton getting unofficially 61 yards in the first half, and most of that coming on the final drive that they had in the second quarter. Most of the first quarter they had negative yardage, and Providence able to get 10 plus tackles for loss there when the game was still somewhat in doubt. And Caden Cup, pretty decent passer for New Brockton, only with 19 yards passing and 42 yards rushing as a team. In motion, and Cup's just going to keep it, and he's not a bad rusher, able to move it up and get it to just about, probably got 7 yards, 8 yards. Let's give him 7 yards on that carry. And in the first half, he had a lot of negative carries, had a couple of sacks, and New Brockton had a hard time getting any positive yardage. And in that final drive where they scored a touchdown, they did get a 25-yard run from Julian Noble, by far their best play of the night.
Second down and a long two.
It's second down and 2. Julian Noble in the backfield. He does get the ball. He's hit the backfield, but he's able to elude the tackler, able to elude another tackler, and get a strong gain. And he's going to go just about to the 41-yard line. That is a first down. Give him 5 yards on that carry. And Noble's last couple of carries, he had 25 yards and 5 yards. His first 3 carries netted him just 1 yard. So starting to get a little bit more comfortable back there. Of course, it being 43-8 makes a big difference, as well as rotating a number of different defenders in. But it does look like it's pretty close to the first team defense back in for Providence. It's going to be pass to McCoy again, and Harrison Mims with a huge hit. And as we alluded to in the first half, that's not a play that's worked very well. That's for negative 6 yards there for McCoy, and it's really been tough going for him on that play there. Logan McCoy, again, we said that he is a freshman, and they run that motion and just kind of hand it to him, and each time on that play he really has netted, looks like he's netted 6 yards on that on a number of different carries. So Cup's going to roll out. Looks like he's going to either throw it or pass it, and just throws it out of bounds there. He kind of had an either or. He could run it or kind of a one-man route there, and was not open, so he chose to throw that away. Just to wrap up the McCoy point I was making before, he's run that kind of sweep there 9 times and has a total of 6 yards on that. So that's not a play that has worked too well. Providence able to string it out, or in that play, the linebacker Harrison Mims able to come in and make a big play there. So that brings up a long yardage here for New Brockton. Cup going to try a timing. It's not there. He's going to roll out, try to get to the corner. He doesn't have anything and just throws it away once again, and brings up, I believe, 4th down here.
Cup rolls to his left. His pass is intended on the near sidelines for number 21. Matt Hoskin goes incomplete. Penalty marker on the play.
There is a penalty, and going to call intentional grounding on Cup. Kind of a tough call with it being 43-8. It kind of runs, but there was nobody in the, well, they're picking up the flag. Yeah, it's kind of a tough call. He's outside the pocket and was able to get it past the line of scrimmage, which typically takes away any kind of intentional grounding.
Flag is
so it is 4th down, and New Brockton, one of the more interesting punting formations, bobbles the snap, and the punter was crushed. He was able to get the ball off, and you got to give him credit. He was able to get the punt down to the Providence 39-yard line, but he kicked that at the same time that he was being tackled. I'm not sure that I've ever seen a punter being tackled and kicking at the same time, but give him credit. He hung in there and took it, and Providence going to take over at their own 39-yard line. Every possession except the final one where they did 2 plays with 38 seconds to go was a scoring drive for Providence. In the first half, unofficially have them with 320 total yards, 197 yards rushing, 123 yards passing, by far the best passing game that Providence has had this year. And you would look at it as a career night for Jake Smith, passing the ball up to this point with the first 7 Providence games. He was able to only get a handful of completions tonight, able to get big completions for big yardage. It's kind of a different kind of play. Grant Weatherford getting the ball and going to bounce to the outside, and this has given New Brockton trouble on the outside. Can Weatherford get it all the way down? And he is able to get it down to the 17-yard line, so give him 45 yards on that run. And Weatherford has been nothing but a big play guy tonight, has 124 total yards and a touchdown, had a beautiful touchdown catch in the first quarter, was able to set up the first touchdown of the night with a 54-yard swing pass with kind of a little curl he was able to get loose. And what Providence has had good success with tonight is getting on the corner. New Brockton just doesn't have the speed on the corner to keep up, and it's been big play after big play when Providence can get to the corner. Going to try it again with Goldsboro. He kind of just dances his way down. It gets down to about the 15-yard line. So probably give him the 14-yard line, so give him a 5-yard gain there. And as we talked about, that he has 725 yards on the season coming in. If he were to have a big game tonight, he could possibly get 1,000 yards. At this rate, probably will get 1,000 yards next week. He had 96 yards rushing in the first half and had a nice little 21-yard kind of swing pass, but it was behind the line of scrimmage, so able to make a rush out of that and scored a touchdown. He gets the ball once again, Gus Goldsboro does, and that's going to be a no gain for him on that. And so this is going to bring up the first time that Providence has really faced a situation where it's a third down. I believe it's their first third down of the game. They scored on drives of 3 plays, 2 plays, 1 play, 1 play, 2 plays, 1 play, and so never even got to the point to where they had a third down. So here they are, 3rd down and 7. The ball's at the 15-yard line. Goldsboro in motion. Jake Smith's just going to keep it, go straight up the gut. He gets a pretty good push. Not sure if he got the first down. Looks like it's probably going to mark him a yard short. Going to be right there at the stick, but it's going to be 4th down and probably less than a yard, and Providence will go for this.
Going to be about a yard short, bringing up 4th down and 1.
We've talked about Jake Smith having a big game last week, over 200 yards rushing. Big game tonight, passing, a career passing night, over 120 yards, and also with 70 yards rushing, so give him 76 yards rushing. And so he's gone over the 500-yard mark rushing this year. Providence also almost looks like they're trying to draw them off sides, and they may go for a field goal here. I believe that Providence is yet to attempt the field goal, and as you get closer, like we've talked about, there is Providence still in contention for a playoff berth, and seemed improbable after the first couple of weeks for the season, but they were able to get some big wins, a big win over Elba, who is ranked in 2A, and also a win over HA. But when you get into the playoffs, it's a different kind of ball game, and you might need a field goal. So we'll see what Providence is going to do here. Try to draw them off sides, call the timeout. And judging by the way the offense is coming back out, it looks like they're going to go for it. So not really sure why that they tried to draw them off sides and then call the timeout. There's 7:14 to go, 43-8 Providence. That was our score at halftime.
Eagles have it, 4th down.
This is the first possession of the second half for Providence. Jake Smith, quarterback, Gus Goldsboro in the backfield. And Goldsboro gets it, goes right up the gut, and is able to get a little bit further than it looked like he would right at first. Second effort there. So give him about 6 yards on that play. Gives them a first down inside the 5-yard line, and Providence just rolling.
And on the stop for the Gamecocks, number 52, Bethea.
So the ball's at about the 3.5-yard line, and the clock is moving here with 6:50 to go. Providence looking to get on the board and get 50 points tonight. Goldsboro met right in the hole there. One of the best plays of the night by New Brockton's defense, stopping Gus Goldsboro there, and we'll give him 1 yard on that gain. He's been the workhorse so far on this drive, outside of that long run there by Grant Weatherford that set him up down inside the 20-yard line. Clock continues to run, and really this game not in doubt at all. And what Providence wants to do is to be able to get the offense cohesive. They've had, some injuries along the offensive line. They've lost the center for the season. Backup running back Christian Durden not suited up tonight. Gus Goldsboro having to go the whole way at running back. Jake Smith going to keep it, just get to the edge, and he's going to be able to easily walk in for the touchdown, his second touchdown of the night. Give him 2 yards on that, and Providence now pushes the lead up to 49-8. And that gives Jake Smith 80 yards rushing, and as we said, coming into the game he had 433 yards, so now he's over 500 yards rushing for the season. With a couple of more good games, he could get 750 yards rushing on the season. Goldsboro on his way to a 1,000-yard season. John Jeter in for the extra point, and New Brockton's gotten close to blocking it. Hasn't yet tonight. They once again got close, but wasn't able to get it, and Jeter's kick is true. 50-8 with just under 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter, and Providence just showing what they've done the whole night. Each time they've had the ball, they've been able to drive it down and score a touchdown outside of the 2 plays to end the first half. This one took them a little bit more plays than it did in the first half. But I think the Providence coaches would take that, want to put some different plays together and just get some sustained drives. And like we said, getting an offensive line that can gel. Jonathan Wells was hurt a good part of the first part of the season. He's back, solidifies that line, and able to get a lot more push tonight. As we've talked about as well, New Brockton really struggling defensively, giving up 40 points a game. They've given up 51 one time. And they're obviously going to give up 50-plus tonight. So the struggles continue for New Brockton, and one of those seasons where they've got a lot of juniors playing. We've talked about a 9th grader playing McCoy, and so hopefully those guys getting a lot of experience that they can take into subsequent years for New Brockton. Jeter kicking off for what seems like the 100th time tonight, and he just does a pooch kick, and it's going to bounce, and New Brockton's going to take it at about the 17-yard line, trying to string it out, and it looks like slowed down a little bit there at the 15-yard line, and doesn't get much more after that. So New Brockton taking over at about the 25-yard line, get about an 8-yard return there, and now New Brockton with their second possession of the second half, and trying to see if they can string some plays together. And the one thing that this does for Providence as well, as we've talked about getting closer to playoff berth, it gives some second-team guys and some rotational guys some excellent playing time, because you just never know when you might need to be called upon to make a play here or there. So Caden Cupp, he's going to hand the ball on the inside to Julian Noble, who's had a little bit more running room here in the second half. Give him about 12 yards on that run. Had a really nice 25-yard run in the first half, and he's starting to find a little bit more daylight in this game. And so on two runs there, give him 3 runs. He's got 42 yards, 47 yards, and he's had a couple there. So he's got about 40 yards tonight coming into this game. He had a little bit more on the defensive side than the offensive side. Cup going to try the pass once again and goes over the middle, has a guy open, and able to get it right at the first down marker, and gets it out there to John Clay Reynolds, who missed a pass in the first half, was able to get it there. They're going to give him 10 yards on that pass play, and one of their better pass plays of the night. And New Brockton able to get a first down here. Clock is running under 5 minutes to go. The score 50-8. New Brockton with 4 wide receivers and Noble in the backfield. And here's the play where McCoy gets it, strings it out once again, able to look like he was going to turn the corner, was not able to turn the corner, and was tackled there. Looks like Cooper McClintock may have got in on that, but it looks like we're going to have a hold, and that poor play for McCoy, it gets strung out. He gets tackled every time, and this time also a holding on the play. So now it's going to go from 1st and 10 to 1st and 20, putting New Brockton behind the chains. As we've talked about a lot tonight, that the defensive line has been able to get some penetration. So it's not 1st and 20. It's going to be 1st and a lot. I wasn't able to see right there. And they go an inside handoff. Wasn't able to see who got that as well. So that was Julian Noble once again getting a lot of work here. So now it's going to be 2nd down. Let's see if we can do some math here. So 2nd down and 23, probably 2nd down and it was 1st and 25. So New Brockton having some work cut out for them here if they want to get a first down. 2nd down and 23.
2nd down and long. Ball now up to the New Brockton 34.
Cup going to pass and just gets outside of the pocket. And once again, he thought about throwing it away. Last time they almost called intentional grounding on him. This time he just runs out of bounds and give him about 6 yards on that carry there, but it's still going to be 3rd down and long.
In on the stop, the Eagles, number 16, Jeter, and number
So it's 3rd down and 17, and most of the time that Cup's gone back to pass has not had much of an opportunity to find anybody. Only 19 yards passing in the first half, had a 10-yard pass here in the second half, so not even 30 yards passing yet here in this game.
40-yard line.
So McCoy goes in motion, then Cup's just going to roll out, looking, kind of throws, got a man open, and he's able to hit him, and he got that ball down there to Avery Weed, who missed a pass earlier this year, and Cup did a nice job there of not going over the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball and was able to just kind of feather it out there. Weed was able to get underneath it, didn't get many yards afterwards, but sets New Brockton up at the 37-yard line, 33-yard line, and second time they've been able to get into Providence territory tonight.
In on the stop, the Eagles, number 18, Cooper McClintock.
It's going to give to McCoy, going to string it out once again, and McCoy is tackled for a loss there, and give that tackle one more time to John Jeter there, who was seeing for the first tackle for him, and that poor play for McCoy there just will not get untracked there, so give him 4-yard loss on that, and so the last 6 times that play has run, it's -4 yards, so McCoy's going to ask the coach to strike that play from the playbook afterward. And so New Brockton going to just throw the ball up, got a guy wide open by himself. He's able to get the pass down to the 15-yard line. Had he kept his feet, would have walked in. There was nobody on that side of the field for Providence, and so that could have been an easy touchdown had they just turned and thrown the ball to him right at the line of scrimmage. He would have been able to run it all the way down. Uncharacteristic of Providence to not have a player out there, and they call a timeout after that play where New Brockton gets it down to the 15-yard line. 2:25 to go in the third quarter. We'll take the timeout with them. 50-8 Providence. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
Stand by. Rolling.
Back here at Providence Christian High School following a timeout and a defensive snafu for Providence not covering a wideout. New Brockton's got a 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line, and Cup is going to fake giving it to McCoy. He is knocked in the backfield, not able to get knocked down at first, but was able to, Providence was able to keep him for a 3 or 4 yard loss there. Going to give him a 4 yard loss. So following a defensive lapse, the defense does come through with another tackle for loss, and we'll have to add these up here at the quarter, how many tackles for loss that Providence has in this game, which we talked about a record for points scored, not going to be a record for yards, but possibly points scored here, maybe defensively for tackles for loss. 2nd down and 14. Cups is going to go straight back to pass, looking over the middle, has a player. He does make the catch. Let's see where they mark it at the 10-yard line. And that was John Clay Reynolds, who had the big pass play when he was not covered earlier on this drive. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5.
Gain of about 8 on the play.
And so Cup has had better opportunities here in the second half of passing. He's got 42 yards passing here in the second half. Had just 19 in the first half, so seeing a little bit more of an opportunity. He's going to give it to Noble. Noble's going to try to bounce to the outside. That doesn't work, and it's going to bring up a 4th down and 5 from the 10-yard line. They can get a 1st down without scoring, but it is 4th down, and like we talked about in the first half, just a number of 4th down offensive plays here, and it looks like New Brockton, New Brockton's calling a timeout here. They're going to talk it over, 4th down and 5. So another timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. 56 seconds to go. Providence leading 50-8. 4th down and 5 for New Brockton here as the waning moments of the 3rd quarter, down 50-8. And following the timeout, trying to get guys set up. They're going to have 3 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. Jamarcus Brown in the backfield with Cup needing a 1st down or a touchdown. Cup's just going to throw it over the middle. Not a great pass. The play was there, but just slightly out in front of the receiver and not able to convert on that 4th down play. So Providence defense, after having a snafu in the drive where no one was covering the wide out, he was able to get the ball down to the 15. They were able to really stiffen up after that and only give up 5 yards. Take over now, 1st and 10 with the ball at the 10 with 51 seconds to go. And so now we have looking at a lot more second teamers coming in for Providence. We've got Wynn Brock in, freshman quarterback. He's going to hand the ball off, and some good running room there. And Providence able to get the ball up to about the 14. They will have to snap it one more time before the 4th quarter, but that's a good run there by Ryland Banner. And I think that was Ryland Banner. We'll have to check that. There's a lot of guys coming in that we haven't seen before. So it looks like he got a little bit of a run there. Give him 4 yards on that carry. This will most likely be the last play of the 3rd quarter. High snap, but a inside handoff. The ball was fumbled, but I believe that Providence was able to get back on it. That was Grant Baker, another freshman, getting some action. And it looks like that Providence will be looking at a 3rd down and 8 when we start the 4th quarter inside their own 20-yard line. And tacking on another touchdown here in the 3rd quarter and really just kind of holding serve. Providence goes into the 4th quarter leading 50-8. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
Is dedicated to offering a vast collection of fixtures, faucets, and accessories for your kitchen and bath. Make your dreams a reality. Step into the area's only Kohler Premier Showroom or see Delta's Brizo collection for the latest trends in kitchen and bathroom designs. Lewis Smith Supply offers an extensive line of plumbing supplies for contractors or do-it-yourselfers. For more inspiration, come visit one of our showrooms in Dothan or Enterprise.
At Enterprise State, we believe college is for everyone who wants a path to something better. And we're Alabama's fastest growing community college because we're redefining what college can be. More affordable, more accessible, more of the programs you need to find a high-paying job or fast forward the career you've already started. Whether you come for advanced technical training or a solid academic foundation, you'll leave with the tools it takes to make your future happen faster. Learn more and get moving today.
Your #1 source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
We at Scenic Cable would like to thank our YouTube audience for over 10,000 views on our video library, and we want you to help us make it even better and promote more content being added. How? By subscribing to our YouTube channel. On the Scenic Cable and Productions YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. Your subscription will allow us to grow the channel with even more content, like the local videos you love, and even expand beyond them with new and original videos and shows for YouTube. Please subscribe.
Quarter number 4 just about to get underway here at Providence Christian High School. It's been a big night for Providence. 50-8 heading into the fourth quarter. Second team offense in right now. The defense just stopping New Brockton on downs right before this, and so you've got the second team offense trying to get their first down. It's going to be an inside handoff. There's a pretty big hole. We'll have to see where they mark it. Looks like it's going to be well short of the first down there. A lot of these guys getting opportunity for the first time. That looked like that was a Chapel Stickler getting a chance to run it. Once again, a freshman, so you had a lot of freshmen in there getting some game action. And Wynn's been in at quarterback a couple of times this year, but certainly he'll get the most action he's had yet. So Jake Smith had a big night at quarterback tonight, his best passing night of his career, and he's going to come in and punt for the very first time, standing just about at his goal line.
46.
He's able to get the punt, a really nice punt, got a good spiral, and New Brockton gets away from it, and this rolls all the way down to the 28-yard line, and so we'll have to see. Didn't get to quite see where they marked that from, but we're looking at least a 50-plus punt there, and once again, that may be one of the best punts of his career. He's able to really get a nice spiral on his punt, which you don't see a lot of in high school. On the flip side, as we talked about, New Brockton kicks it kind of a little bit funky that gets the ball rolling kind of end over end. So New Brockton's going to come out down 50-8 at the 28-yard line. We'll see if they stay in with the first team. It looks like the first team offense is staying out there. Caden Cupp, the junior, had a little bit better passing game here in the second half. He's got Julian Noble, who's had a couple of better runs here in the second half, but New Brockton not able to score so far. And Cupp's going to hold on to it, and turns out to not be the best decision, as he is taken for a tackle right there by William Shipman, a senior, getting a chance to get some action there. And once again, another tackle for loss. Providence had 14 tackles for loss before that one, so give them a 15th tackle for loss, and that one is a 6-yard loss. And it's really been difficult for Cupp tonight to be able to just get any action. He's had almost 400 yards rushing on the season, but tonight has got no traction. He's going to pass it and look, and nobody's open, so he's going to try to run. Now you see a little bit of the opportunity that he has as a runner, and Providence able to knock him out probably at the 40-yard line, going to make it at the 41-yard line, and so give him about 40 yards on that play, and the officials getting together for some reason, but give him about a 42-yard gain. So when you see his statistics in the newspaper tomorrow, his rushing won't look nearly as bad as it did for 90% of the game, where he was thrown for a number of losses. But 42-yard run, by far the best play of the night for New Brockton. They did have a 25-yard run earlier and a 22-yard pass, so a better opportunity there for Cupp going against a predominantly second-team defense. There's McCoy with his that little run, and it's just not working for him. Ben McClurkin, a senior, getting some action. He gets a tackle for loss, so rack up 16 tackles for loss there. And poor Logan McCoy, that play is just not working for them tonight. So behind the chains once again, New Brockton, second down and 15. Julian Noble in the backfield with Cupp. In motion, McCoy hoping he doesn't get the ball, and Noble able to get a little bit more of a daylight there, and give him about 7 yards on that carry, and he's had a much better second half than he did the first half. Outside of a 25-yard run, didn't have many positive gains, but New Brockton able to string some better plays together here, and it is 3rd down and 8. Clock is running, coming up on 9 minutes to go.
It'll be 3rd down and 8 yards to go for the Gamecocks.
Noble in the backfield with Cup. He's going to get the ball again, going to go straight up the middle and kind of carrying a few tacklers, going to get it down and give him 4 yards on that carry. So better carrying for him. It's going to bring up a 4th down, and if there's been anything that New Brockton's had to deal with tonight outside of being behind the chains is 4th down offensive plays. This is the 8th or 9th time that they've run an offensive play here on 4th down. Down 50-8, under 9 minutes to go. There's no reason that they wouldn't want to go for it here. Noble remains in the backfield. And he's going to fake it and keep it up the middle. He's able to get the 1st down. Providence strings him out after giving 5 yards on that carry.
Calls his own number at right tackle.
And it gets a 1st down for New Brockton, keeps that clock running once the chains are reset, and the officials just go ahead and getting the clock started. New Brockton's really had 2 drives in this game. 1 drive in the first half and that resulted in the touchdown. The second half they had 1 drive that resulted on turning it over on downs at the 10-yard line. Cup going to try to go to the outside, just a little square in, able to hit the receiver and get the ball just about 4 yards there.
Gain of 4 on the play, brings up 2nd down and 6.
Avery Weed got the catch on that one, 2nd down, and make it 2nd down and 6, give him 4 yards on that. Having 19 yards passing in the first half, Cup's able to get coming up on 50 yards passing in the second half, getting close to his average, which was just a little over 100. Cup fakes it, keeps it himself, and going to get to the outside, going to get knocked out of bounds, gets the 1st down, give him about 7 yards on that run, and seeing a little bit more daylight there. Cup is against the second team, keeping this drive going for New Brockton, and you know, if nothing else, they just want to be able to get this drive together and finish it with a touchdown.
Taken out of bounds at about the 18-yard line. And on the stop for the Eagles, number 19, Charlie Legier. It'll be 3rd down and 1 yard to go now for the Gamecocks. Ball resting at the Eagle 18.
Cup going to keep it once again, get to the corner. Looks like he's going to be able to get the 1st down and give him just about 3 yards on that. Able to keep the chains moving here, and just little by little, New Brockton going down the field. 7 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. 50-8, Providence with the lead. Providence really getting a number of different players into the game. A lot of guys getting their most extended action of the season. In a couple of the games, they were able to play a couple of drives here, but tonight the second team playing most of the 4th quarter. Cup with a low snap, going to throw it over the middle, has McCoy open. McCoy's able to haul it in, just about a 7-yard gain there. And New Brockton not getting big chunks of yard after that 42-yard run by Cup, but just methodically going down the field. But most importantly for both teams, the clock still runs, and for fans.
Brings up 2nd down and 3. And on the stop, the Eagles, number 9, Eb Anderson. 2nd down, 3 yards to go for the Gamecocks.
So it's 2nd and 3. There's the play to McCoy once again. Tries to get on the outside. Is able to, that's not McCoy. There is a fumble on the play. That was the same play they've been running, but Carius McNabb took on the Providence blocker, and there was a good collision, but McNabb dropped the ball, and New Brockton with a promising drive here in the 4th quarter to try to put some points on the board ends with a McNabb fumble, and Providence going to take over at looks like their own 10-yard line, possibly 9-yard line. From our angle, it's kind of hard to see. It looks like it's going to be at the 9-yard line. So
Cooper McClintock. The Eagles have it, first down and 10
Looks like
yards
Cooper
to go.
McClintock was the defender there that caused the fumble. He came away with it as well. So Providence defense, mostly second teamer, stiffens there, gets a turnover, and brings out the second team offense. Just going to be more of an inside handoff, dancing around a little bit right there is Rylan Banner, a freshman, and takes a handoff from Wynn Brock, also a freshman. So Providence, when they look to their future, it's fourth quarters like this where 9th and 10th graders get a lot of action and they can get a lot of game action, and you're seeing different players kind of coming in and out and getting an opportunity to play. A few seniors that don't play as much also getting a chance to get in as well. So there was no gain on that play. Rylan Banner staying in there as the running back. Wynn Brock, and he's going to keep it himself and try to go around the right end. And he is taken down for about a 3 or 4 yard loss, and that was Carius McNabb who fumbled it. So he's got a little juiced up there and wanted to make up for that fumble, and gets a tackle for a loss, and takes the ball all the way back to the 5 yard line. So now Providence a 3rd down and 5, and not going to do anything fancy here, either quarterback keeper or just hand it off, and nothing else, just keep that clock running. This game really coming down to exactly how Providence wants to play it. Rush the ball, get the lead, and just get that clock running and get out of here with a win. It was a high snap, an inside handoff, and going nowhere once again for Providence. That was Chappell Stickler trying to get around the corner. He was tackled once again for a loss, and so Jake Smith and the punting team going to have to come back out here with the clock going under 4.5 minutes. Second team offense not getting really too much push there, and not able to do much with that turnover, but I think at this point Coach playing it pretty close to the vest and just running some pretty basic plays to keep that clock running and get out of here with a win. Providence will come out of here 4-4, still on the hunt for a playoff opportunity. Jake Smith with the kick. The last kick was 50 plus. This one not quite as far. And the ball was touched there by New Brockton. They need to get back on it. And Jamarcus Brown, I'm not sure if he even has the ball at this point. We'll have to see kind of how they have it. It looked like he had it. Maybe it's between his legs. And we'll see how the official kind of sees this. This is kind of a weird play. New Brockton was able to get on top of it, and I'm pretty sure that Brown was able to secure that ball under his legs. So something you don't see in a 50-8 game, under 4 minutes to go. We did have some excitement there, and one thing that Brown did is he was going to let that ball bounce, but let it hit his hand. Lucky for him that he was able to get back on top of it. A good punt from Jake Smith. His last punt was 50 plus. That one was over 40 yards, so not really flipping the field, but able to give the defense at least a little bit of a cushion here as New Brockton comes back out.
First down and 10 yards to go. Ball resting at the Providence 49-yard line.
And New Brockton still has their first team offense out there. Just a hand inside to Julian Noble, and he was able to get probably 3 or 4 yards. And at this point, I'd be surprised if New Brockton did anything out of the ordinary, but just run the ball here and just keep that clock running.
Gain of 2 on the play brings up second down and 8. Ball now down to the Providence 47-yard line.
Clock going under 3.5 minutes, and before the punt, as I was saying, Providence will come out of here at 4-4, 3-1 in their last 4 games. So a season that looked like it was going to be pretty rough has turned around somewhat. The ball on the ground there as Cup is able to pick it up, makes a move to the outside. He might go in for the touchdown with that one move. He's able to go 47 yards for the touchdown, and New Brockton gets back on the scoreboard, makes it 50-14, And the longest play of the game for New Brockton, and it really was a play where he dropped the ball, was able to pick it up. He made a move to the outside and went back inside, and there was no Providence player out there able to scamper in from 47 yards. So at the end of the night, you're going to look at his rushing totals and see that he had a pretty decent game, but it's really 2 runs. The rest of it is a number of tackles for loss. The point up is good, and New Brockton puts 8 more on the board, 7 more on the board, and it's 50-15. They will kick off with 3 minutes to go, and we'll see that Providence second-team offense here coming out. So Providence going 3-1 in its last 4 games, showing you after starting at 1-3, looked like it was a season that wouldn't be nearly what their goals were. And what you want to do is take it 1 game at a time, and had a tough one at Opp, and got away from them a little bit, but had a good comeback victory over Elba. Had a really nice solid win against HA last week, and this was a solid win, putting up 36 points in the first quarter. So Providence offense much better in the last few weeks than it's been at any point during this season, with an opportunity to make the playoffs, something that looked improbable after the first 3 weeks. And the schedule very, very kind to Providence as well, with the teams, many of the teams that they'll be playing the last 3 weeks. The last 3 teams they'll be playing all have losing records. Just a little bit of a pooch kick. Harrison Mims is able to take it at about the 28-yard line, kind of dances around, not sure what he wants to do. Looked like he was going to kind of give himself up. Maybe he was going to see if he could get through. Doesn't work, and he gets the ball at the 37-yard line. And the Providence second-team offense is going to come out for their 3rd series. Like we talked about, this is the most series they've played in 1 game, and so far have not been able to get many positive plays. We'll see what they'll be able to do here with just under 3 minutes to go. So Winbrock in at quarterback. Rylan Banner in at running back. Banner goes in motion. It's going to be an inside handoff, and trying to make a move, and does make a move there, and get some positive yardage, give about 6 yards on that play there with the carry. And that was Chapel Stickler, who the first couple of runs was really stuffed and lost some yardage down closer to the goal line, but give him 6 yards, 5 yards on that play, and most importantly, keeps the clock running, and an opportunity for Providence with a couple of first downs here to run out the clock.
Pickup of 4 brings up 2nd down and 6 for the Eagles. Ball now resting at their own 41-yard line.
So Trey Douglas in at the running back, getting his first opportunity to possibly run the ball. 5'9", 248 yards. There he is running the ball right up the middle, makes a move, and is stacked up, so give him 2 yards on the carry. And Trey Douglas, one of the favorites of the players. He's just a freshman, and but's got good size, and getting him a chance to run the ball there. And he gives a thumbs up to the sidelines as all the guys are excited that Trey got a chance to run the ball. So brings up a 3rd down and 4. So in a 50-15 game, there's a little bit of excitement in the 4th quarter, and Trey's still in there, number 30 at running back. So we'll see if he gets a second carry, and if he gets the first down, the sideline might go crazy. He is going to get another run. He's going to go right up the middle, and he's stacked up, not going to be able to get that first down. They stacked up at the 45, but fun moment for Trey Douglas, a favorite of the players, and fans love him. And he gets a couple of carries on it, and he's a guy that in a couple of years you might see a little bit more of, especially a guy down by the goal line that might give them some good opportunities later in his career, just a freshman. So coming up on 1 minute to play, 50-15, and it looks like it is a 4th down and 2, and it looks like instead of punting, Providence is going to still run the ball. So we'll see if our fan favorite is still in there. Yes, Trey is still in there at running back, so he might get his 3rd straight carry. Let's see if he can get the first down. A lot of movement, but Wynn's going to keep it, try to make a move. Does not make much of a move, and Providence going to turn the ball over on downs here with 33 seconds to go. New Brockton will have a couple of plays here. When trying to make a play, probably in the future he'll look at that and realize he needs to run just a little bit stronger here. It's 50-15 game. There's 33 seconds left in the game, and the officials would love to bring the chains over and see if it's a first down. Fans, I can just tell you right now, you can't make this up. So Providence will do some scoreboard watching tonight and looking to see their playoff chances will be greatly enhanced if Houston Academy loses to Wicksburg, but that's been a close game. So make sure that you, after you watch this broadcast, you'll already know the outcome of that game, but that's one of the things that Providence is looking at, and HA loss really enhances their opportunity to make the playoffs. So after all of that, what all of us could see is that the was not going to be a first down. They made the official marking of the ball, and New Brockton will get a couple of opportunities here to end the game. And then New Brockton, right on cue, calls a timeout.
Ball goes over on downs to the Gamecocks, and on first down they will take.
And if you like statistics, it's kind of interesting. When you look at from the New Brockton perspective, their defense gives up 40 points a game. They give up 50 tonight, which is fairly similar to what they've done. Their offense scoring 19 points a game. They scored 15 tonight. So it's kind of interesting if you're into statistics, how over a season they kind of bear out and you become the team that you are. And tonight, once again, New Brockton, very similar to what they've been throughout the rest of the year. For Providence, a little bit different. Their home games outside of Slocum, they've been much better offensively, and tonight very much defensively. And even though it says 15 points, the defense barely gave up anything when the game was in doubt. So there's a number of guys with very clean uniforms out there for Providence. And we have a new quarterback in for New Brockton as well. Hunter White, who is a freshman. He's going to take it. He was going to give. Nobody's there, and he'd be good to get down. And he doesn't want to go down, which is kind of funny. But a host of players in there for Providence able to make that stop. And Tyler O'Brien was one of those that was there as well. And so Providence able to get a lot of guys some experience, a lot of guys getting an opportunity to play, and the clock is just going to run out, and Providence is going to walk out of here with a 50-15 win. They go to 4-4 on the season. The good news is they have 2 more home games. Depending on how you look at it, you'll have to hear us for 2 more weeks as Providence keeps marching on for an opportunity to make the playoffs. We'll have a much better view of the playoff picture next week as they get ready to play out the season with 2 more games. They'd have to feel pretty good about themselves right now making the playoffs. So a very big first quarter, scoring 36 points. May have been the most points scored in the first quarter in Providence history. They win the game 50-15. They're now 4-4 with 2 more games at home. We thank you for watching tonight's game. I hope you enjoyed it, and we look forward to seeing you next week as Providence is back here again. Thank you for watching the Scenic Sports Network. We'll see you. I'm Mike Bridges. We'll see you next week.
Smith Supply is dedicated to offering a vast collection of fixtures, faucets, and accessories for your kitchen and bath. Make your dreams a reality. Step into the area's only Kohler Premier showroom, or see Delta's Brizo collection for the latest trends in kitchen and bathroom designs. Lewis Smith Supply offers an extensive line of plumbing supplies for contractors or do-it-yourselfers. For more inspiration, come visit one of our showrooms in Dothan or Enterprise.
At Enterprise State, we believe college is for everyone who wants a path to something better. And we're Alabama's fastest growing community college because we're redefining what college can be. More affordable, more accessible, more of the programs you need to find a high-paying job or fast forward the career you've already started. Whether you come for advanced technical training or a solid academic foundation, you'll leave with the tools it takes to make your future happen faster. Learn more and get moving today.
your #1 source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
We at Scenic Cable would like to thank our YouTube audience for over 10,000 views on our video library, and we want you to help us make it even better and promote more content being added. How? By subscribing to our YouTube channel. On the Scenic Cable and Productions YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. Your subscription will allow us to grow the channel with even more content, like the local videos you love, and even expand beyond them with new and original videos and shows for YouTube. Please subscribe.